So this is Vision, making a video for a buddy and Let's Talk Tekken group. His name is Daniel Dupoy. I don't know how to pronounce the name, so I'm not going to butcher the name, but basically, so I've seen you ranting in the Let's Talk Tekken group for a long time, basically saying how frustrating it is to level up and get out of the blue ranks, and just nothing that you do works. You don't want a lab. And then you keep getting blown up in rank, and you can't get out of the blue rank. So, yeah, this video is basically going to be trying to get you out of the blue ranks, and basically just, I guess, save you some time, you know? I don't know, I get it. You don't want to go into practice mode. So, yeah, we're just going to try and make it a little bit easy. So, you play Asuka, and you have a lot of footage on... you posted a lot of footage up there, so everybody there knows a little bit about how you play. But I think one thing that I noticed right away in your games is that you have, like, I think a lot of new players, you're good at pressing buttons and you're good at keeping up offense in the sense that when you get the offense going, you are good at keeping it going. But when you drop the offense, that's when you drop the offense and then your opponent is in your face pressuring you, that's when you don't know what to do. So basically what happens is you hold back because you're afraid of pressing a button and getting counter hit, and you're not sidestepping, and you're afraid to block low as well because you don't want to get launched, right? So basically you just hold back, and then, you know, your opponent basically just opens you up. So I remember talking to you in the DMs about one tool that I didn't see you use, and that's the crouch jab. And that's this move right here. So, I mean, it doesn't look like anything special, right? You know, like, if you think about it, look at the damage. The damage is so minuscule. It doesn't look cool, you know, it doesn't really lead to any launchers, so it's like, okay, well, why would you use this move? But let's go over that. I'm gonna convert you into the crouch jabber. So, as you see right there, I don't know if you have this set up on your system, but I have it so you can see the frame data here. So if you notice here, the crouch jab here is 10 frames fast. And in case you didn't know, that is basically the fastest move in the game. Same as your normal jab, if you see it right there, startup frames. 10 frames, 10 frames. So there you go. That's kind of like your baseline. That's your fastest move that you have, and that's generally the case for pretty much every other character. Every character has a 10 frame jab, pretty much. So yeah. So let's talk about how to use this move. So this begins to, like, run some examples here, right? So one way to use crouch jab is after you get hit, right? So we're gonna set Miguel to do a move here, right? So that move right there, if you get hit, you're -2, right? You're -2, which means Miguel is +2. So let's see what happens if you you get hit, you try and mash, right? You're gonna get counter hit. You already know that part. So maybe in your games, this is where you would just, hey, I got hit by the low, time to block, time to hold back. But that's not actually the case. You can, bam, you can do that. See? So, because, like, let's consider this. Miguel, right there, he's doing a mid. He's doing like a down back 4, low attack, and then he's gonna check you with a mid. You know, that's like a normal thing in Tekken. You're gonna see that a lot. But what you can do, because mid checks are generally no faster than 13 frames. So if you look at the frames there, you get hit, your move beats it out. Because you basically have one frame of leeway here. See that your jab is 10 frames. So let's see what happens if you do an 11 frame move. This move right there, that's 11 frames. It's 1 frame slower. So let's see what happens. It trades, right? 1 frame can make all the difference. But also, I'm trying to make it so that you can see, like, I remember you saying that you're not good at, you don't really know about frame data, you don't know how to read it. So we can try and break it down and make it a little bit more simple, right? So, yeah. 10 frames, wins out. 11 frames, trades. anything slower than 11 frames is gonna get hit. You're gonna lose. See, like other options from your while crouching stance is gonna lose the trade. So yeah, so that's one way that you can use a crouch jab. Here's another way. So one thing, you don't want to lab, right? And, you know, I get it. It's kind of hard if you don't have, like, a friend to practice against. So you're going into ranked matches, and you're playing a whole bunch of people who are basically just doing this to you. They're just, you know, just abusing the fact that you don't know what their moves are, right? So they're going to be doing this. So that's another time that you can use the crouch jab. So, like, I'll just set up Miguel to do random stuff, like, random stuff in the game that, you know, somebody might do in one of your games. You're not sure what to do? You can just crouch jab it. See, like... Nope. See, just like stuff like that, you know, when people are swinging at you, you know, just swinging for the fences, you can use a crouch jab and basically shut that down. So yeah, that's the crouch jab. Now let's talk about what you can do out of a crouch jab, right? So you can actually, when you crouch jab, you're actually +6. And so that's like crazy advantage. Basically, if you hit a crouch jab, that's so many frames, you're so many plus frames that pretty much your opponent has to respect what you're gonna do. Because if they try and contest it, they're gonna get hit, right? So let's see what do you got here? If you land a crouch jab, let's see what Asuka's wall standing moves are. You got like, I'm not an Asuka main, but I know that you like that move, so that's pretty good. That's a good move to use after a crouch jab if you think the opponent's gonna swing, right? Sometimes a lot of people when they get hit with the crouch jab, they're like, oh, what is this? I wasn't expecting to get hit. I'm gonna hold back now because, you know, I don't want to get counter hit, right? That'll be a thing that happens sometimes. So that's when you can use some of your other options, right? So you can do 1+2, and you get this guy right there. I don't know if you use that move, but that's pretty cool, right? You know, it sets up for Okazeme or whatever. It's a knockdown. It keeps you crouching, so you don't go back into standing when you use it. So yeah, you can use that if you think your opponent's gonna block. Like if you think they're just gonna hold backwards. You got other options too. Like like if I do crouch jab, do that. After a crouch jab, you also have this guy right there. So, you know, you can do that if you think the opponent's gonna swing. You can do that and get the counter hit. And the difference between, like, you might be thinking like, well, why don't I just do that right there? Well, a couple things. This guy here is a few frames slower, for one. And two, I know that's launch punishable. I don't know what that is, but I don't think it's launch punishable. Let's go ahead and see what it is real quick. We can see. We can see what it is. That's only -11, yeah. So that's way safer than that. That's -16, that's launch punishable, that's -11, it's not safe, it's punishable, but it's only -11. You're not going to eat a lot of damage if your opponent blocks that. So that might be the safer bet. So let's see, I got some notes, I'm just kind of going off the cuff right now. So, yeah, let's see what else we got here. We got the follow-ups. We talked about frames a little bit. I don't know how in-depth you really want to get into frames. I don't know. Like, when you understand frames, it's way easier to know what in the heck is going on in Tekken, and it's way easier to problem solve, too. Because then you know, like, how the game generally works. Like, if we're talking frame-wise, like, normally, like, mid-checks are like, they come out in 13 frames. But if they come out and they have counter hit properties, or if they have evasive properties, they're generally punishable. That's kind of like the general thing. Also consider strings, like, let's see, Miguel is like a really good example. I main him, so I'm going to use him as an example to basically talk about frames and hopefully help you learn about frames a little bit. So, like, consider a whole bunch of strings that you might not know, right? You don't know what strings are, you don't recognize them, but while you're playing, you can be thinking about these strings in the context of frames. So let's say, like, this one right here, Miguel, he's got this right here, right? So he's got a mid-high mid string, and he's got a mid-high low, and he's got a mid-mid. Now, the thing you should be thinking when you're looking at these strings is, so the first mid is, the first attack is mid, the second one is high, right? So generally, you want to duck the high and launch it, or yeah. But let's say if he does this, right? He's basically got like a little mix-up here with the last hit of the string. He's got a mid, and he's got a low. You don't know what he's going to do. You basically have to guess which one he's going to do. But that should tell you, the fact that you have to guess means that because you can't duck these moves and you basically have to eat the mix-up, it means that they're going to be punishable. So yeah, this one right here, that move right there is minus 12. And this one, that low is also minus 12. So that should kind of tell you, like, you should be thinking about moves and strings in this way to kind of know what the heck you're supposed to do to beat them. So, that's just a little bit of talk on frame data right there. What else do we got? Okay, we got alternatives to crouch jab too. So you're basically just trying to get out of blue ranks, right? So we're basically just... right now, I just kind of want to help you cheese your way out of blue, you know, to help you just get out of there as fast as possible, and you can gimmick your way out of it if you really want to. So, but one of the things about the crouch jab is that it almost kind of is a gimmick, you know, it's almost like a crutch to some extent, you know, like the better you get and the better players you start fighting are, the less the crouch jab is gonna work for you because people know how to beat it. But at the, like, your light blue ranks right now, you know, nobody knows how to beat it. So, but let's just go over what you can do instead of crouch jabbing, if you wanted to go that route, right? So, let's see here. Like, instead of a crouch jab, you could sidestep. That's one thing that you can do. That's another option that you have to beat pressure, but not do a crouch jab. So let's see here. Right, so, alright. Miguel does this here. See, right there, that's a low right there where you're minus 4. That's where crouch jab would not work. So you wouldn't want to do it anyway. But you can sidestep. And that's like an option you can do when people are using lows against you. Instead of like holding back and eating the mix-up, and if you're not sure that you can crouch jab, you can try sidestepping. Because, you know, that's going to happen right there. So, do that, and here's what you do. If you're sidestepping, like, you're sidestepping for a purpose. You're not sidestepping for the sake of sidestepping. You're sidestepping because you're expecting your opponent to be like, hey, I just landed a hit. I'm going to take my turn again because it is his turn. You know, he's plus 4. Right? So, that's where the crouch jab, or the sidestep comes in, and that's when you do like a whiff punish. Let me try and do it. Like, just like that, bam. See, punish right there. So you could do that. You could keep it safe. You could do something like that. You could, I mean, you get the idea. So you let the move, you sidestep, make it whiff, and then you punish him. So get that in your muscle memory, right? So don't just do a sidestep like that. You want to be like, just like that instead. You know, sidestep, hit a button. You know, because you're expecting him to do a move and you're expecting it to whiff. So yeah, there's another example right there. That's how you can use sidestepping instead of crouch jabbing, especially because crouch jabbing isn't always going to work. It's not going to save you if you're more than minus 3. So what else? We got like one more thing to talk about. Oh, yeah, okay, the last thing here is the back 3 options for Asuka, right? So, I remember in the most recent videos that you posted, I didn't see you using this move. Now, it is punishable, but it's such an awkward move. A lot of people, like, you need to kind of go into the lab, you need to go into practice mode and see how to properly punish this move. And I guarantee you that people at the initiate ranks are not going to be doing that, so they're not going to know what to do. Most of it, you'll probably get it, even though it's punishable, you can do this move and get away for it for free, right? Free launcher. And if you consider the risk-reward dynamic here, you know, you get a full launcher, and more than likely, if it gets blocked, you're not going to be eating it as much damage, right? So, but let's see, you got this, and it goes into a combo. You also have that into Tooth Fairy, right? So you can do that. Because sometimes people will, like, they'll block it, and then they'll respond with a jab. And a jab isn't going to hit. A jab will whiff. If they block that move and they try and jab it, it's going to whiff. And that's when that guy comes in right there, the Tooth Fairy. It's going to go under the high, and it's going to launch him. So yeah, there's that. And if you really want to start stressing your opponent out, you can cancel the Tooth Fairy. You can just hold down, like after you do the Tooth Fairy, hold down, and you'll just, you know, you'll just do this, and you can do whatever, you can do that, I don't know, you can do whatever mix-up you want to do. And you also have, oops, what is it? Yeah, you have that guy right there too. You can use that as, like a knowledge tester, right? Like, whenever I fight Asukas, they like to use this thing right here. And I can tell that they're used to using it because nobody really ducks the high. They just block it, right? So basically, you're getting away with this for free if they're not ducking the high. So you can use that to basically see how much they know about the matchup against Asuka if you really want to. Do that, and if they continuously end up just getting hit by the low and then blocking the high, then you know you can basically get away with this for free. They don't know how to punish it. They don't know how to deal with it. So, and that's the thing that we're going to be focusing. What I think you should focus on right now is basically just abusing their lack of knowledge matchup. Do what they're doing to you, right? Do what they're doing to you. Abuse different stuff. You know, use all the tricks in the book to get the win, basically. And if they don't. If they're not punishing that, you know, why wouldn't you do it? Just do it all freaking game. You said you don't know when to do it. Well, pretty much any time you can do it in the ranks that you're at. You know, like, hey, are you -2? Do it. Are you like poking at them and I don't know? You think they're gonna hit a button? Do it. You know, do you think they're gonna do a low? Do it. It's gonna low crush it. If you think, are you spacing out and you think that they're trying to get in and you're trying to catch them coming in? Do it because. You know, if it hits, it's going to hit. If it blocks, you know, they're not going to punish it anyway. And if it whiffs, you're so far away that you might even, you know, get away with doing it for free there, too. So yeah, those are, I don't know, I hope the video was helpful. Hopefully it'll help you get out of light blue ranks. Hopefully get you into the green ranks. Also, I just want to see, what is this guy here? Okay, that's like a counter hit launcher. I saw you doing that. It's -9, so that's good and safe. But anyway, yeah, so that's it. I'm going to start the video and send you the link. And hopefully you enjoy. Alright, peace.